Pennsylvania. Today is Friday, July the 18th. I believe is the date today. Yeah, Friday, July 18th. Uh, Question for today is: what are your thoughts on the Big Beautiful Bill Act and the government cutting funding to food banks? Uh, so yeah, it's an interesting thought. I know there's a lot of controversy out there about the government cutting funding, all the food that's going to waste, all that kind of stuff through USAID, whatever all got cut. Food waste is not a new thing. Government funding, I guess one of the questions I would have is who came up with the idea that the government is responsible to feed the people in our communities? As a member of the body of Christ, as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ, why are we looking to the government to fund the needs of our communities? We believe that the church should be the entity that is responsible or that is stepping up and taking care of the needs of the less fortunate around us and not looking to the government to do all that. Now, I did not read the big beautiful bill. I did not. There's all kinds of articles out there. There's just a Wall Street Journal article on food banks cutting funding, that kind of stuff. My thought goes to let's step up as a community and take care of the needs of our community. One of the things, like a blessing of hope, what we find here is food availability is not the issue. Food distribution, there's all these programs out there, but I think we could do a better job of working together and collaborating. Empowering each other and where we're good at. Uh, and from my experience, from my what I know about government funding, what I know about the way the government operates, they are not the most efficient in feeding our communities. And I believe as a member of the body of Christ, if we could step up, if we could get to know the needs of our community, get to know the needs of our neighbors, get involved in a food bank, get involved in serving, through donations, through your time, whatever way that you can get involved. I would say let's step up and get involved. Let's not look to the government to fund things that we have been called to fund. Uh, there's so many opportunities to make a difference, and there's so many ways to be more than just a handout. If we look to the government to fund the SNAP programs, whatever the government programs are that are out there, there's usually restrictions that go with that around sharing other educational programs, sharing like a just a program to help people get back on their feet. We're not really looking to just become the next program that people become dependent on. Let's actually help people overcome the challenges of their life and help them to step into their God-given destinies, into their God-given callings, and out of poverty. We can look at the government and say they're not doing it right. We can say, hey, they should have done this or they should have done that. But as a child of God, I believe it is our responsibility to do what we can to make a difference and actually serve our communities with excellence, to serve our neighbors. And I know there's a lot of people that may not agree with what I'm sharing, but that's the way I think. I believe let's get it. Let's get this mindset that the government's responsible for the welfare of the community. Let's get that out of our mindsets. We come from a community, Amish community, where there was no government funding for people in need. There was no government welfare. It was a self-funded community, and it's a very powerful idea. It's a very powerful concept. If we as a community can take care of the needs of our neighbors, and this has worked for 500 years in the plain circles in our heritage, and we believe that if we can step up and uh, actually be there for each other, be there for our neighbors, get to know the needs of our neighbors, get to know what's causing them what's the root of the issue rather than just yeah, I'm struggling, so we're just going to try to put a band-aid on the issue. uh, so yeah, what are my thoughts on the big beautiful bill? I don't know. I haven't read it. But the more I look at it, the more we can look at our communities to take care of the needs of our communities rather than the government. I think we're going to be ahead. As far as cutting funding to food banks, I mean, personally, that does not necessarily affect Blessing the Hope in a negative way that I can see, because we're not funded by government funding anyway. Are there going to be needs out there for for other people to step up? Yeah, I'm sure there are, and there's always opportunities to be a neighbor, be a friend, be a helping hand in a time of need. And as we look at the opportunities in front of us, let's look at what we can do to not only provide for the physical needs, but the spiritual and emotional needs of our neighbors, our friends, people that are struggling. There's a lot of ways that you can get involved in somebody's life, at a lot of different levels. And as much as possible, I believe we're going to get a lot further in this country if we quit looking to the government to fund everything, and we actually start stepping up as a community, taking some of the resources that God has entrusted to us and utilizing them to make a difference in other people's lives. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. The funding to food banks. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are concerned about that, but I would challenge us as a community to step up and to not only help with funding, but to help serve. There's a huge opportunity here for the body of Christ to step up and to impact people's lives that we'll never meet. And as I think about the opportunity, a lot of opportunities come in a time of crisis or a time of shakeup. We're definitely in a time of shakeup right now, and I think it's an opportunity for the body of Christ to step in, fill the void, fill the gaps, and make a difference in that way. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Be happy to hear any feedback. There's a link in my description if anybody wants any clarification on what I shared, any questions or comments on that. Feel free to check out that link. Also, I did put up a new website, dlap7.com. If you want to check out my website, you can leave a comment there as well. Information on my website about a little bit of our story of how we got to where we're at today. We're just like a personal site for me to share some of what's happening in my life. So, yeah, feel free to check that out, and welcome any feedback, welcome any comments, any thoughts on that. So, like, comment, share, and I'm going to try and get back here more often than I have been the last couple of weeks, but there's just so much going on, and I have not been making this a priority. So, yeah, thanks for watching. God bless you, and look forward to your feedback.